What role do you see for gamification elements which exist within many modern learning management systems?
I'll give you a mixed answer. First, the positives. I mean, a very close friend and colleague of ours, James Paul G, who's now at Arizona State University, argues that games, even first-person shooter games, are more effective learning environments than most classrooms because they're based on engagement, where you respond to things, recursive feedback, you get feedback, you do a lot of practicing, and then there's a challenge where you go to the next level. So he's actually parsed games, including the most problematic of games like first-person shooter games, and said these have profoundly effective pedagogies underneath them. And that's why a kid that mightn't like school can spend 100 hours at a game and master the game to its top level. So the kind of argument then is if we can do that in education, that will, we can build game-like environments, and for things like, which were formerly routine, like spelling or typing or, some aspects of math, like maybe memorizing, times tables, all those things which used to be boring kinds of things, it's obviously a good thing to do. On the other hand, I have my reservations about gamification because you can kind of take it too far. A lot of learning and a lot of knowledge is pretty serious, actually. It's not a game. In other words, if I'm doing a science experiment, it's not really a game. It's something where I'm dealing with a physical object in a test tube, and I'm videoing it and I'm writing up results. There's nothing for me that's game-like about that. You're not scoring points, you're not competing against somebody else. The reward is not a game-like reward. The reward is a knowledge reward. So I do think the gamification stuff has its limits because there's a lot of what happens in education is more serious than that.